Good morning, my name is Matthew Hugo from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather brief on Friday the 14th of October. Today's weather brief will cover a summary on the West European 5-day average temperatures, the UK, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. Firstly, we'll take a look at the mean surface temperatures across Europe. And between days 11 and 15 there is a consistency within the latest forecast models that the majority of the forecast models signal temperatures to be generally trending above climate averages by at least 2 to 3 degrees. There is some model divergence, but overall all of the available forecast models signal temperatures to be trending above climate norms. Between days 6 and 10 there is some model divergence with regards to the expected temperature trends, but overall most of the forecast models signal temperatures to be trending above climate averages, particularly across some central and eastern areas of Europe in particular. And finally, between days 2 and 5, the distinct east and west split in forecasted temperatures continues today, and that is for many central and eastern areas to have temperatures either near or trending below climate averages, whilst many western areas of Europe have temperatures either near or trending above climate norms. And now taking a look at the United Kingdom in some closer detail, and with the exception of some very rogue outlier runs on the latest GFS deterministic model, the majority of the available forecast models, including my specific temperature forecast as represented by the solid red line, signal temperatures to be generally around 2 or perhaps 3 degrees above climate norms as we move towards and through the final week of October. Between days 6 and 10, as we move through the week beginning Monday the 17th of October, overall the majority of the available forecast models, again with the exception of some very rogue outlier runs from the latest GFS deterministic model, signal temperatures to be very near to climate norms, though perhaps just beginning to trend around 1 degree above towards Friday the 21st and Saturday the 22nd of August. It is worth to highlight that some of the latest GFS deterministic runs, which are specifically quite volatile forecast models, signal temperatures to be well above climate averages, and as you can see in relation to the other available forecast models are distinct model outliers. Between days 2 and 5, temperatures are forecast to be very near, if not just slightly above climate averages by 1 or 2 degrees over the next 2 to 5 days. There is very good model agreement and consistency for this temperature trend. As a result, confidence levels are high for this specific temperature forecast. The latest UK ECNWF 32-day ensemble model comparison graph, which is represented by the solid red lines, signals temperatures to be trending slightly below climate means throughout the remainder of October and into the opening first half of November. Particularly during the final week of October, this is different with regards to the latest forecast models, which signals temperatures to be trending generally above climate norms. Overall, however, given model agreement and consistency, I do expect temperatures to be slightly below average. And overall, now moving on to take a look at the expected temperature trends across Europe, starting between days 11 and 15, and there is some model agreement and consistency for previous days for temperatures across most areas of Europe to be generally trending above climate averages by at least 2 or 3 degrees, in what is forecast to be generally a particularly mild period of weather for late October. The latest France model comparison graph helps to illustrate this situation, and as you can see within the highlighted red circle, the majority, if not all, of the available forecast models signal temperatures to be at least 2 or 3 degrees above a climate mean of around 12 or 13 degrees Celsius. This specific temperature trend is forecast to be associated with the remainder of Europe, and as a result I have medium or medium to high confidence to suggest that most areas of Europe are likely to have temperatures around 2 or 3 degrees above climate means between days 11 and 15. Between days 6 and 10 there is quite a distinct split in the forecast models. Some of the forecast models, particularly including the EC deterministic and also the GFS deterministic models, signal temperatures to be at least 3 or 4 degrees above climate averages. However, I expect temperatures to be nearer to climate norms between days 6 and 10, and perhaps only just trending above climate norms by 1 or 2 degrees at very most. The latest Austrian model comparison graph helps to illustrate this situation very well, and as you can see there are a few distinct model outliers for the latest EC deterministic model and also the GFS deterministic model, which signal temperatures to become around 2 or 3 degrees above climate means. However, ignoring these forecast models, the remainder of the forecast models, including my specific temperature trend as represented by the solid red line, has temperatures very near to climate norms between days 6 and 10. And finally, between days 2 and 5, the distinct east and west split in temperatures across Europe is forecast to continue, with many central and more particularly eastern areas of Europe having temperatures generally below climate averages, particularly across Austria, for example, where temperatures may be at least 5 or 6 degrees below climate averages. However, in contrast, many western areas of Europe, including the UK, France and Iberia, are likely to have temperatures trending above climate averages by at least 2 or 3 degrees. And now moving on to take a look at the expected precipitation totals across Scandinavia. And with the exception of some western and southwestern areas of Norway, which is forecast to have precipitation totals well above climate averages over the next 7 to 14 days, with precipitation totals in excess of 100 to 125 millimetres, the remainder of Scandinavia, particularly also Sweden and also Finland, are forecast to have generally below average precipitation totals in association with much drier conditions. And now moving on to take a look at global weather alerts, which highlight significant deviations from normal. And many central and particularly western areas of the United States over the next 7 to 14 days are forecast to have little or no measurable rainfall at all, with most areas experiencing less than 25% of normal precipitation totals, in what is forecast to be an exceptionally dry spell of weather across most areas of the United States. There is also a persistent signal for mean surface temperatures across many central and northern regions of China to be trending at least 4 to 6 degrees above climate averages over the next 7 to 10 days at least, in association with what is a particularly warm spell of weather for the middle and latter half of October. Thank you for listening to today's weather brief. Goodbye.